Hey everybody, Smart Silver Stacker here. In this video I'm going to talk about what's going on in the silver market. We had a big move down today in the spot price, and I'm going to give you some more info about that. I'm also going to share with you some of the most important lessons we can all learn from the silver squeeze, and some really important information for anyone out there who is a stacker or is thinking about becoming a stacker. And if you stick around, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons why I think silver is still undervalued at these prices and why I'm still stacking. So we're going to cover a lot. It's going to be a great video. Let's get to it. So the silver price crashed today. It appears that the silver squeeze may indeed have been some form of pump and dump, possibly by hedge funds or some other related party. One of the major contributing factors to today's big move down was that the CME, which is the world's largest derivatives exchange which offers trading in silver futures and options, raised its margin requirements. So basically, anyone who bought silver futures yesterday using margin for leverage got caught today. As the price of silver dropped, those traders began getting margin calls due to the higher margin requirements, and that forced them to sell, and the downward pressure then caused more traders to get margin calls and so forth, creating a cascading downward effect in the spot price. And honestly, I can't say I'm surprised at all. I know that's sad, but markets are just so crazy these days, and asset valuations are so detached from reality that any amount of manipulation or deceit just doesn't surprise me anymore. And that's actually a really great question. What kind of news would it actually take to surprise me in 2021? If you can think of anything, a news headline that in 2021 would genuinely surprise you, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious about what you guys think. In the physical metal market, premiums are still on the high side, and some products may still be tough to find, but overall things are quickly normalizing and dealers have a lot of inventory back in stock. So I hope no one watching loaded up too much on physical silver over the weekend at crazy high premiums. If you did, and of course this isn't investing advice, I can't provide financial advice, I'm just a guy on YouTube sharing my thoughts, but if I had loaded up on physical bullion, I would sit tight and not worry too much, because I think it's still a good time to be stacking, and I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why at the end of this video. Also, I personally was not buying any metal over the weekend, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about why in just a minute. So, what can we all learn from our experience with the silver squeeze? The first lesson, I think, is that it's important not to invest with the crowd. By the time you hear about a bubble or the next big thing in stocks, it's probably too late to get involved. If you're not an early adopter in these things, you're going to be the one getting fleeced. Just look at what's going on with GameStop today. Its share price is back down under $100, and there's probably a lot of retail investors who thought they were getting in on the next big thing who are now sitting on a huge loss. When everyone else is buying, you want to be the one selling. And when no one wants an asset, that's the time to be acquiring it. I didn't personally sell any physical metal yesterday, but I did sell some of the mining stocks that I've owned for a while. And of course, today I'm wishing that I had sold all of them and taken all of my profits. But I got greedy and I held on and I moved with the crowd. And how did that work out? Today I got to see some of those profits evaporate. The second and most important lesson we can learn is just how quickly the supply of physical metal can evaporate from the market. You've got to get your position in physical metal before a panic begins. Was I online Sunday night desperately trying to find some silver bullion to buy for a crazy premium? No, because I already have a physical position that I'm very comfortable with. Was I excited? Yes, of course. Anything with the silver market is at least somewhat exciting for me, and probably most silver bugs and stackers. But I wasn't anxious about getting metal. I knew that whatever happened in the markets Monday morning, I had my ounces put away and I didn't need to worry about rushing out to get more. This silver squeeze turned out to be just a head fake. But what if it wasn't? What if this had been the real deal, like a dollar collapse or a crisis in the debt market? You got to ask yourself that question, and you've got to ask yourself, do you already have the position in physical metal that you would personally want to have if you were going into a situation like that? If the answer is no, then when the dust settles and things calm down a little and premiums are down a little bit, you might want to make that a priority. An important thing to remember is that silver was undervalued before this whole silver squeeze thing started, and it still is. Nothing has fundamentally changed in our economy, and at these prices, I personally think silver is still a bargain, and once premiums come down a little, I plan on stacking more. Let me tell you a few reasons why. Reason number 1. Did everyone forget about the stimulus? Because more is still coming. Right now, the debate in Washington seems to be, should the checks be $1,000 or $1,400? But no one is suggesting $0. There's going to be more stimulus, and probably to a degree that will make previous stimulus look small by comparison. That's been the trend for at least the past 20 years, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. An ever-expanding money supply can only be positive for the price of precious metals. The second reason is the Green New Deal. Once President Biden gets settled in and his administration's environmental agenda begins to be implemented, we can expect lots of government money to be headed in the direction of green tech. And guess what green tech uses a lot of? That's right, silver. Solar panels, hydro plants, electric cars, wind turbines, all of this stuff consumes a lot of silver. These programs probably will not actually be called the Green New Deal for PR reasons, but whatever you call them, they will help drive industrial demand for silver much higher. Now, I'll probably catch some flack from both sides for reason 3, because it's a somewhat controversial topic. And I'll say ahead of time that I'm not taking any side of any debate regarding this, but reason number 3 is the rollout of effective vaccines. Right now, we're in a situation where a lot of money has been created and pumped out into the economy, but in many places, we're still under a lockdown. Anything that helps get those lockdowns lifted is going to contribute to a resurgence of economic activity. When lockdowns get lifted, all the money that's been created is going to begin moving around again. And that's actually when you begin to see price inflation in the economy. Inflating the money supply doesn't actually affect prices until something called the velocity of money begins to pick up. I think once we see the velocity of money increase with the economy being reopened, we're going to begin to see significant price inflation, and that is very bullish for the price of silver. So, those are 3 of the reasons why I'm still stacking. And if you're thinking of stacking some silver, check out this video where I share with you my top 4 smartest ways to buy physical silver. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you next time. Smart Silver Stacker out.